So again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
With so many different orchestras, isn't it hard to communicate the scores, to practice with the conductor, and to make a good arrangement together?
No, you know, I mean, the good thing is music is a universal language, so it doesn't cause for much interpretation. Typically the conductors and the musicians, they play the music the way the music's written. We also performed the show a number of times, so therefore a lot of the musicians who have performed the music make notations and things like that that everyone can understand. So in that sense it's not that difficult, but in terms of the other communication, in terms of dealing with local crews and things like that, that could become a little bit of a challenge.
As being so close to Mr. Onuma and Mr. Kondo, have you already got an in-depth look at the Breath of the Wild soundtrack?
I've been only able to see what the fans have been able to see, unfortunately. I have no you know, exclusive looks or previews of the game itself, but I'm really excited and eager to get my hands on it, and I'm looking forward to being able to add this as part of the Master Quest.
So what's actually the reason to call it the Symphony of the Goddesses and not Symphony of Helia or Symphony of Zelda?
Well, Symphony of the Goddesses is the name that we came up with for the concert series itself, but the actual Master Quest is the installment. What we've done and what I've decided to do is, typically what we've done in the past is we had the Symphony of the Goddesses, and then we had our second iteration, which was called Second Quest, and then of course when we relaunched and we went out on tour in 2015 with Master Quest, we decided to keep that name for 2016 as well, and onward. So the Master Quest is the iteration that we're touring with, and we're going to continue to work with that name.
Okay. So there's no plans for another iteration of the Second Quest, Master Quest, because in Zelda games typically the Master Quest is the last one. So.
Exactly. Well, the iteration is the show itself. As far as the title, Master Quest, that will not change, but the actual content as part of the program will change, as witnessed by Here Tonight. Yeah. With new music from Triforce Heroes and visuals, of course. We also have a new arrangement for our intermezzo, which is from Temple of Time. And then, of course, we also have updated visuals from Twilight Princess HD throughout the program. So yeah, the only thing that really is going to remain the same will be the 4-movement symphony, which is something that is the basis for the Symphony of God.
Right now there's no sign of Triforce Heroes, so it is always changing the program.
Well, we've actually just modified that listing on the website, so it will reflect the current program as tonight. The only thing that we don't list will be the finales, which is always subject to change, and also to keep the suspense of the audience.
Okay. So how is it decided which pieces are remaining in the show and which are cut and changed to another one or another game?
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, we had from this installment, this iteration, we previously had A Link Between Worlds, which was a new addition. We also added a boss battle medley, which is a great piece, as you probably well know. Yeah. And then, of course, we also made some changes to the overture. And then, like I said, we also have Triforce Heroes, the new Temple of Time Intermezzo, and then the Twilight Princess HD. So we constantly are creating a different show for the fans. So you'll never see the same show twice in a given city. Yeah. There will always be some changes. So, for example, this show has almost 12 minutes of new music. Okay. So.
another pieces like when we were here in Amsterdam last year, we all saw some Triforce Heroes already.
It was a teaser,
so we actually now it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we didn't have the full arrangement. We actually used the overture, and then we actually went into a Triforce Heroes medley. This time you'll hear a full arrangement with the visuals, and then again you'll also hear a brand new arrangement. It's the Temple of Time, which is a beautiful piece that will come on after the intermission. So it's what we open up with as our intermezzo, and that replaced Fairy Fountain.
Okay. So apart from music changes, what were the biggest changes from the start of the symphonies, like the E3 opening, to until now?
Well, just obviously, the thing that's really unique about this concert in particular is the fact that we're very, very relevant. So if anything, for example, Nintendo's releasing like Majora's Mask 3D, we make sure that the program reflects the current content, whether it's 3D, HD, what have you. So everything is up to date. It's current, and that's what we strive to do. And then, of course, now that we know that Breath of the Wild is coming out, we're looking to add new material from that, of course, when it becomes available.
On Twitter, I saw many people asking for a CD or a DVD or Blu-ray of the concert. Are there any plans to release it?
We did a recording in Las Vegas last year, and it's my hope that we should have some good news to report here soon. So if you haven't done so already, please register for the Zelda Symphony newsletter to be the first to know.
Okay. Symphony has run for quite some time now. Do you have any plans to bring this success to another game series?
Constantly working on it. Always trying to continue to push the envelope. I'm always having ideas for other video game music concerts. So hopefully within the next couple of years we'll have some opportunity to have some other video games that are represented as part of my concerts. Not only from Nintendo, but from other well-known developers.
What video game would be your favorite to do this with?
Zelda, of course.
And after Zelda?
Final Fantasy, the other one that I did.
Yeah.
If you know my past, I started out my career with producing Final Fantasy concerts, and then of course when I started working with Zelda. So I've pretty much worked with the two biggest video games in the world in my experience.
Okay.
What's your response? It's all about Breath of the Wild a bit. You have not seen that much yet, but you have played the game yourself already.
Yeah, I've demoed it. I've seen a lot actually. I've watched a lot of playthroughs, and it's very inspiring and very sparks a lot of curiosity. But I'm really excited. I don't think I've ever been as excited for a video game release in my lifetime. So I'm really excited.
You already seen some of the soundtrack yourself when playing. What's your first thought when hearing it?
Well, I think of a lot of things that obviously my creative side kicks in, and there's a lot of things that I can imagine doing, especially in a live environment like this, with regards to some of the sound effects and really trying to take the audience in this world, so to speak, this open air environment, whether or not it's just the grass blowing in the wind, or the birds chirping, and so I have a lot. And it's kind of hard not to have an idea for how I could see it incorporating Breath of the Wild into my concert. But again, I'm at the mercy of Nintendo and what they will release. Because an idea is just an idea, but obviously it needs to be green lighted by Nintendo before I can really flesh it out.
Zelda. Which one is your favorite? And not Zelda or not a Link, but since those were too easy to call up.
Yeah. You know, I like. There's a lot of characters I like. I mean, I like Ganondorf. You know, I also like Dark Link. There's a lot of characters I like. You know, Sheikah.
If you have to choose one you could say is my absolute favorite.
Well, I would say, well, I mean, it could very well be Link from Wind Waker, you know, or you know, I would. It's hard for me to say. I would say, you know, it's kind of hard not to like Link, but I would say my favorite game would probably be Skyward Sword. So. You know, I like Link in Skyward Sword for sure, but I also like Link in Wind Waker as well.
It's just hard to make a decision.
Yeah, it's really hard to make a decision because there's just so many. There's a lot of, you know, Link would probably be my favorite, but I do like others too.
When playing all the Legend of Zelda games, what was your best memory while playing them yourself?
My best memory would probably be with my father. You know, in the original NES, the gold cartridge dating back to the very beginnings. Those are memories that I always cherish, and I can always thank my dad for turning me on to video games.
Okay. I think that's all the questions we have.
Cool. Great.